welcome to Something Witchy, a Sabrina the Teenage Witch rewatch podcast. I am Lara Cotter.
And I'm Sky Richard.
And we are on our season 3/summer break. So we are doing a special episode today, and we are going to be rewatching Sabrina Down Under. Now, we went through a bit of a journey to bring you this episode. Our story starts about a month ago when Sky and I were reaching the end of season 3, and we're like, hey, we're going to plan our break and what we're going to do for our break. And this was the movie that we needed to watch because timeline-wise, it takes place between 3 and 4. So we started looking for it, and you cannot find this thing online. It's not on YouTube. It's on a sketchy Russian website that, while my computer is now up to date with Windows 11, at the time, it did not feel like the most responsible choice.
I would not have watched this. I would have just had you tell me the story, and I would have just interjected with, really?
But then you would have missed some of the most amazing special effects, Sky.
That's true. Oscar-worthy CGI.
There were some physical copies for sale that ranged from like $70 to over $100. And while we enjoy doing this podcast, we have yet to see any money coming out of it. So we're not quite there. And then one of our lovely listeners, who's actually been a listener, I think, since the very beginning, shout out to David Pierce, who lives very near me and actually brought me his physical copy of the DVD. So we've got the DVD. First part of the issue solved. And then last week happens. Last week was a journey for me. It started on Monday with someone backing out of a commitment that they had made several months ago that made me potentially have to drive down 3 hours to Southern Utah this week. That ended up not happening. My mom got COVID. On Wednesday, I was like, okay, I'm going to get so much stuff done today for work, for the volunteer board I'm on, for the podcast. It's going to be such a great day. And then my internet goes down at 11:30 in the morning. And I was like, okay, well, I have Google Fiber, and Google Fiber, like, that's the whole point of fiber, is that it just doesn't go down, right?
No.
Well, I mean, like, that's one of the points of fiber, is it's not like when I had Comcast or whatever, it was down like every other day. Fiber should be pretty reliable. And so I checked the Google Fiber website, and it's like, there's no outages in your area. And so I'm like, okay, maybe it's just me. I'll wait a minute. I'll have some lunch, see if it comes back on. Have lunch, still not on. Check the Google website again. And now it's like, oh, there is an outage in your area and your internet's going to be down until 3:30. I was like, well, okay, that's a bummer, but I'll go to the library and I'll do some work. I got a lot done at the library. Actually, it was pretty nice because I was less distracted by all the stuff in my home. And while I'm at the library, I'm checking the status page again. And now it's like, oh, now your internet's not going to be up until 9:30. And I was like, okay, that's a slightly bigger problem. Oh, the other thing I discovered throughout this is that my house has terrible cell reception. So I can't even entertain myself on my phone with like social media apps because nothing is loading. And so I'm like, okay, so then I leave the library and I'm like, I'm just going to get dinner while I'm out. Check the status page again. And now the estimated time has been completely removed. So Google has no idea what's happened. Google doesn't know when it's going to get fixed. I better be getting a rebate from Google on my internet costs this month. I finally get home and I'm like, well, I have the DVD of Sabrina Down Under. I don't need the internet for that. I can just pull up a Word document and I'll just type my notes in a Word document and move it to the Google Drive later. So I go to get my DVD and my DVD player is dead. It won't respond to buttons. It won't respond to the remote. I power it off and back on and it will not actually turn on anymore. It's fully dead. So then I'm like, okay, well, I can watch a DVD on my computer and it's going to be small, but I can like do split screen with my notes and the DVD. Put my DVD in the computer. Go to Windows Media Player. Windows Media Player is like, I can't read this file. You need special software to watch a DVD on your computer. I feel like that's something your computer should automatically come with if you have a CD/DVD slot. Like that just should be standard. And I can't download it because I have no internet. And also, like, unrelated to all of this, my analog clock in my bathroom also died. And I had just replaced that battery a month ago. And then later on that night at 11:30 p.m., my air conditioning went out. My air conditioning went out actually earlier in the day, but I didn't notice it until 11:30. So I think somebody hit my house with like one of those electromagnetic weapons. Just
yes,
like
they target you specifically.
I think somebody out there does not want this movie to be seen or discussed because it does not exist. You can watch there's so many uploads of Sabrina Goes to Rome. Somebody is trying to bury this movie and somebody knew I was trying to watch this movie and they came for me. The next day I go to my sister's house after having like a mental breakdown because I'm so hot because we're also in the middle of the heat wave in Utah while my air conditioning is out. Go to my sister's house, get her internet. My internet's back up by 6 a.m. Watch the DVD at her house, do my notes. It's great. Whatever. My AC gets fixed Friday night. Hallelujah. And then I passed the DVD off to Sky on Friday night. Did you have any issues watching this, Sky?
No.
It's just me. It's me. It's been a journey. It has been a process. I know a lot of times people skip these filler episodes because they're like, it's not as fun. We don't care. We want to watch Sabrina stuff. Y'all better listen to this one. Effort went into it. Literal sweat went into watching this.
Yeah, no, I just popped it in my PlayStation and hit play and watched it. Had to pause to turn on subtitles because I forgot that.
It's because your technology poltergeist hit you during Sundance. You get all your poltergeisty activity out with the printers.
It's true.
I have my poltergeist now.
Oh, guess what I get to do moving forward?
What?
I'm hiring a print management service again.
Ooh.
So a printer dies and I call people up and like, yo, you come do this. I no longer have to crawl on the floor with a headlamp on my forehead, a very intimidating syringe full of fluids that I'm injecting into those print heads and emerging covered in ink. That is in my past. My future is bright.
I love that for you. You got a very angry printer-related text message from me on Friday.
I did. I think all the printer problems have gone your way now.
Yes. I couldn't get something to print in color and it was very, very annoying. It was only one document. Every other document could print in color, but this one.
Oh, wow.
I gave up and printed it on a different printer.
And then it said it was out of black?
Well, it said cartridge low, K. And I had to text Sky and be like, what the hell does K mean? There's no color that starts with K.
There is a color that ends in K, though.
I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah, we don't use black and blue in printer worlds.
I was ready for C for cyan. I was ready for an M for magenta.
K.
K. I was not prepared for a K.
It's extra funny because you used to get very annoyed when I just respond to text messages with K, the letter.
That's true. That is true. I think at one point you typed in potassium.
Probably. And now, funnily enough, I've moved on to copy.
You are possessed by the printer spirit now is what it is.
I am the printer spirit.
Oh boy. Okay. Should we get into this?
Let's do it.
So this is the movie Sabrina Down Under. There's a tagline that's she's got Australia under her spell. There is no streaming description because, again, it's only streaming on a sketchy Russian website. It was released in September 26, 1999, directed by Kenneth R. Coach, written by Dan Berenson. Our guest stars, I actually went through and did credits for all of our guest stars, unlike most movies that I do. However, this is a lot of Australian actors. My apologies in advance to Australia for not knowing enough about your media to pick out the most popular shows that these people were on. I did my best. We have Tara Strong returning as Gwen, Scott Michelson as Barnaby from Flipper, Young Hercules, and Hercules: The Legendary Journeys. Lindsay Sloan is Finn. Peter O'Brien is Dr. Julian Martin from X-Men Origins Wolverine, Glow, and The Killing Field. Rebecca is Hilary Hexton, the cat and woman. That is how she is credited. From NCIS Sydney, The Lost World TV series, All Together Now, and The Flying Doctors. Conrad Colby is Jerome Hester from The Wolverine, Neighbors, and A Place to Call Home. Steve Harmon is Dr. Martin's assistant from H2O, Just Add Water, Beastmaster, and then did stunts for Superman Returns. Victor Paraskos is the pilot from Mako Mermaids, Beauty and the Beast, the TV series, and Flipper. Ronan Stoliar is the reef diver from Airtight and The Wild Girls. Enrico Mamarella is the resort manager from Queen of the Damned, Beastmaster, and Paradise Beach. Scott McLean is the Sea Wasp crewman from Star Wars Episode 2 as an uncredited Jango Fett. He also did stunts for The Matrix, The Diplomat, and Tomorrow When the War Began. Tom Fountain as the Maitre D from Men in Black 1, 2, and 3. Dave Nemeth is Wally Gilliams, a TV newscaster. He is returning. He's our Fox 13 weather guy that we've already seen. Ben Lawson as the waiter from No Strings Attached, Anaconda, and Bombshell. Rachel Lee Anderson as the uncredited Barbara from Killer Confessions, Reno 911, and Roar. Remy Broadway as Porter number 1, uncredited, from Scooby-Doo, The Marine, and Breakers. Melissa Downs as a TV reporter, also uncredited. She is a broadcast journalist for 9 News Queensland. Vincent B. Gorse as the bartender, uncredited, from Aquaman, 13 Lives, and Neighbors. And lastly, we have Simon Watts as the uncredited bellboy from The Unlisted, Pulse, and Toilet Paper Rage the Short.
Okay. That's a COVID short, I'm sure.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah. All right, what are your overall thoughts on this movie, Sky? And how do you rank it compared to Sabrina Goes to Rome?
I think I prefer Sabrina Goes to Rome. over this. Oh no, I thought it was a pretty mid movie. It didn't necessarily capture my attention. I will say I was feeling under the weather while I watched this yesterday, so that also probably plays a part into the extent of my notes or the lack thereof and just overall feelings on the show.
Why do you rank Sabrina Goes to Rome higher?
I think I was just more engaged with it.
Okay.
I will say Rome had swords, and this didn't even have a swordfish.
That's fair. I actually think this is better than Sabrina Goes to Rome, marginally. I feel like it made more sense in world, despite the fact that the mermaid looks exactly like her best friend Valerie. And that's not commented upon. We get reference to like, I finally have my witch's license. We got mention of I have a boyfriend back home. Like there's more continuity in the world than there was with Sabrina Goes to Rome. And the plot for Sabrina Goes to Rome opened up so many holes and just ignored a lot of world building that had happened. And then we ignored it once we went back to season 3. I feel like this one, at least, I could believe that this actually did take place in the Sabrina universe. And this actually did happen in her summer between 3rd and 4th season. The other thing that kind of bothered me is they kind of played up like this tension between Sabrina and Barnaby for a minute. There was more sexual tension between Sabrina and Dr. Martin than there was between Sabrina and Barnaby. There were some real awkward moments between Sabrina and the professor.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into our movie. We open in an under the sea scene while Madonna's Beautiful Stranger plays. Sabrina flies over the Great Barrier Reef in a helicopter. Sabrina has come to Australia because she read a book about the reef and really likes the scientist that wrote it. She freaks out over seeing dolphins in the water, then thinks she saw someone swimming, but the pilot doesn't see anyone. Then we get a shot of a merman.
She has the oh so witty line of, "For being down under, everything is surprisingly right side up."
Oh, Sabrina. Sabrina lands on Hamilton Island and is greeted by Gwen. Gwen swears she's better at her magic and adds more flowers to Sabrina's lei, and also gives her a tail. Are leis an Australian thing?
Yeah. They fall into Pacific Islander culture in Australia.
I'll buy it, even though we don't see any native Pacific Islanders whatsoever.
Nope, not at all. This is a white resort island.
Whitest.
So this is appropriation.
The mermaids are super white too.
Yep.
Gwen and Sabrina walk down a road. They're excited to be away from Salem. And I think Sabrina says Stony because I think we decided the hamster or gerbil or whatever it was is Stonehenge.
Yeah.
But then we see someone carrying Salem in a carrier. He has plans for a witch-free week. And my question is, where is the Witches' Council? How is this cat allowed to take a week vacation away from the people who are supposed to be watching him in his imprisonment?
Oh, and as we learn, he's been doing it every single year for a week. It's not just this one-time thing. He's just going off.
It's like written in his sentence somewhere that like you get a week's vacation. Congrats.
Also, how can he afford this? What has he pawned? What crimes has he committed on the catnip market?
He's selling paw picks.
Yeah. Those toe beans.
Maybe that's how I can make money off of Mabel. She's got pretty little white paws. The bellboys put Salem and his luggage in a hotel room. Salem leaves his carrier as soon as they leave.
And here is where the bellboys confirm that he has been going there for years.
Well, Mr. Saberhagen.
Oh, yes, Mr. Saberhagen. And his eccentric cat.
And he just lives in the hotel room for a week with his cat.
Mangy cat.
When my air conditioning was off, I had a full-on meltdown, but part of it was because I was worried about Mabel and how she was going to do. Because I was like, I can leave. I can physically go somewhere else and like spend the night at my sister's or whatever, but that doesn't help Mabel. And my mom was like, well, what if we just got you a hotel room? I'm like, I don't think that's going to help Mabel be calm. Like, take her to a hotel
Have
room.
you met Mabel?
Sabrina and Gwen run off to the beach. They're looking at all the activities they could do while Gwen checks out guys. Salem calls the front desk from his room and demands macadamia nuts. The front desk manager agrees that no one is to enter his room and his cat has full access to the resort. Sabrina comes in from snorkeling and finds Gwen walking on the beach with a guy. It's Jerome, and he speaks in only Aussie slang.
I should have called up my friend Rob and spoke with him for a little bit before recording this. He's from Australia, and if we get talking long enough, I start to mimic him. unintentionally, but I did not call Rob, so y'all do not probably get any sort of accent with this. So Jerome says, I was just telling your pommy cobber here that I was afraid there might be too much steak and kidneys about, but not the case, eh? I'll pop and get us some lolly water. Pommy is slang for British person or British immigrant, the etymology suggesting that comes from pomegranate being a slant rhyme with immigrant, cobber, friend, mate, or buddy, and then lolly water is a sweet, brightly colored soft drink.
What does he mean by there might be too many steak and kidneys about?
Now, that one confused me, and I don't know if we have Aussie listeners, but it sounds like steak and kidneys is slang for the city of Sydney. So are there too many city folk about on this resort area?
Do you think they just put in random words?
Maybe. Because, yeah, the steak and kidneys.
Why would he be afraid there'd be too many Sydney people around?
Those city folk.
He's in Australia. Isn't that where you find Sydney people?
Yes, but you don't want the city folk about on your resort.
Aren't they native to that area? The Great Barrier Reef. That's not that far from Sydney.
Queensland, northeastern coast of Queensland.
Okay, no, that's pretty far from Sydney. It's like New York to Florida.
Ooh, so if the Sydneyites, steak and kidneys, if you will, are like Floridians, then I could understand why you
Or would it be flipped? Because the Great Barrier Reef is like where the peninsula is. So, hey, Australians, are your Queenslanders more Floridians or more New Yorkers? Is it like Queensland man, like our Florida man stories?
Queenslanders, how do you feel about Sydneyites, Sydneyans?
Jerome gets drinks for the three of them, while Salem also sips on a fruity beverage. And it looked really good, and it was like summer beverage corner.
Yeah, will you post it in time for the summer?
Next summer.
Next summer. 2027, summer beverage. Start thinking on it now. Jerome asks if they would like some Sammy's or Dog's Eyes. Dog's Eyes is a meat pie with tomato sauce, the tomato sauce often being referred to as dead horse.
None of that sounds appetizing. Some guys start fighting on the beach. It's Dr. Martin, the marine biologist that wrote Sabrina's book. Sabrina introduces herself as Dr. Martin frees a clownfish and then grieves some coral that was ripped off the reef. Sabrina impresses him with her reef knowledge, and he invites her on a diving expedition tomorrow.
Jerome says he sounds as mad as a gum tree full of gallows.
And like when Dr. Martin first looks up at Sabrina and they have like a moment, I was like, please don't make him her love interest. He's so much older than her.
Wasn't the dude in Sabrina Goes Drum also older? Following a trend.
Not that much older. This is adding another decade or so. Sabrina and Gwen arrive at the boat bright and early. Jerome is also there. Salem lounges by the pool, sunbathing while getting more drinks. There's also a Persian cat there. Salem spots her and romantic music plays. And he says lady like Legia, like he says Friday is Phrygia.
Salem says, if she's really a cat, then I'm a monkey's uncle. Oh, wait, I forgot. My sister married an orangutan. Salem's family secret is they can cross species, marry, and breed.
The boat is at the reef and everyone buddies up for the dive. Sabrina and Gwen dive together and we get a scuba montage. And this music is 10,000 Leagues by K. Sarah, but the music is really weird. It's like more rock, punkish, upbeat than you would think. Like,
it's not giving you Great Barrier Reef.
It is not.
And then I just had a side thought to myself of, I wonder if they took the time to become scuba certified or it's just stunt doubles. I realize stunt doubles makes the most sense practically as far as like a shooting schedule. But if you're going all the way to Australia, do your own stunt and become scuba certified.
Or do we think they're just like in a tank or a pool?
I guess that's one way to do it a little more safely.
That's the other option. Either way, I doubt it's them out in the open ocean scuba diving.
Yeah, sadly.
Sabrina and Gwen wonder what it'd be like to be a fish, and Sabrina turns herself into a computer animated fish. And I sent this picture to Sky and said, here's a little sneak peek. And what did you think when you saw that fish, Sky?
I believe my response was the F, but not with an F.
I did look it up, and this was about 2 years after Ants, the movie, which was the ripoff version of Bug's Life. So the style makes more sense thinking about like the people who are trying to copy Pixar style, but couldn't quite nail it.
Yeah, that's also very Shark Tale animation as far
Yes.
as fish specifically. So Shark Tale came out in 2004. So they copied Sabrina, which copied Ants, which copied A Bug's Life.
Everything is just ripping off somebody else. Salem approaches the Persian. She's Hillary, but that puppet is very clearly Milady. That is 100% the Milady robot cat. I would recognize that eyeliner anywhere. And Hillary harshly rejects him.
I didn't fall for creeps like you when I was a woman, so I'm certainly not going to fall for them now that I'm a cat.
What did Hillary do to become a cat?
I wish there were any sort of consistency in our rules and punishments. I'm going to say she killed a man with a stiletto in the jugular.
All right.
Because he was a creep, and she doesn't fall for creeps.
Sure, we'll go for it. Fish Sabrina swims around the reef looking at all the other fish and almost gets eaten by an eel, then a shark. A dolphin then tosses her around. The dolphin comes back for another round, and Sabrina turns back into a human.
Sabrina remarks, "Fish, cute, but lousy conversationists."
True, Sabrina. Oh, she also sees a rare fish, and I didn't pay attention to it at the time, but it comes in important later. So
the rare fish is important, people. Remember that.
It's so hard to know with Sabrina sometimes what's like an important random thing and what's just a random thing. Gwen resurfaces and is startled by a man who grabs her. He's Barnaby, and his shoulder was hurt. Sabrina surfaces, and Gwen tries to introduce her to Barnaby, but he's gone. They go back underwater so Sabrina can find Dr. Martin. Back at the resort, Hillary gets room service delivered. And she has a little hat. The little cat actor has a little hat on, and it's so cute. And I freaked out.
Like a little pink sleeping hairnet.
Yes. It's Salem hiding under the cloche. Hillary yells at him to get out. Sabrina tells Dr. Martin she saw a blue spotted butterfly fish. Oh, okay. I did mention the fish. There we go. I thought I just ignored the fish. He doesn't believe her. Gwen helpfully adds that she saw a yellow fish. They arrive back at the research center, and Sabrina confirms the fish she saw. A staff member comes in to say a dolphin is sick because of some toxins in the water. He thinks the ship is illegally dumping waste in the ocean, but he doesn't have proof. Salem's room phone rings. It's the front desk manager saying Hillary sent back his gift of fish. Sabrina and Gwen walk on the beach when they spot a merman lying on the sand. It's Barnaby from the reef. He's unconscious. Gwen helpfully gets a handful of water and throws it on him, but mostly Sabrina. Another mermaid appears in the water, worried that humans have Barnaby. Sabrina notices people coming down the beach and zaps her, Gwen, and the passed out Barnaby back to their room. The housekeeper sees them, and Gwen, for some reason, zaps a bunch of water to dump on her head.
Sabrina's terrible lie is, you should really get that air conditioner fixed. It's been dripping all day.
They then say they need to get him to a bathtub, and then for some reason drag him out of the room, where I assume there is a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And he's covered in a blanket, but with his tail showing.
How else will they accidentally run into Salem?
Yes, I understand. But at least like throw in a line of like, we only have a shower or something like
This is too small.
We need a big tub.
They do pass two fishermen as they leave for maybe a bigger tub, and Sabrina says, "Can you believe it? Just a hot dog and a piece of string," as they gasp at the large fin.
Where are they going to find a bathtub? Are they just gonna, like, what's the plan? Just to break into somebody's open room and use the bathtub?
I guess so, since they don't know Salem's here in a fancy suite he rents each year.
They're like, we need a bathtub. We don't know where one is, so we're just gonna wheel this fishman around until we find an unoccupied bathtub.
Maybe they were thinking of going to the pool. Terrible idea, but
terrible idea. Anyway, Salem writes a letter to his aunt on a bench when Sabrina and Gwen pass. Sabrina stares at him in shock.
Salem says, "My kingdom for a sushi chef."
Gwen and Sabrina drag Barnaby into Salem's room to get him into a bathtub. Hillary comes in while the girls are in the bathroom.
Hillary says, "You seem like a decent flea-free guy."
We know he doesn't have worms.
It's true.
Sabrina and Gwen come out to grab salt and the magic book, and Hillary is shocked to see women in Salem's room. But he can't come up with an explanation, despite the fact that they're literal teenagers, and all he has to say is, "I'm sentenced to stay with her family." That's literally all he needs to say, is the truth.
Because they've already established they're both serving time, so.
Yes. And I think it should be a given that if you're a talking cat in the magical world, you're a criminal who has to be supervised. Although she's also not being supervised, so who knows?
Because all she did is kill a man with a stiletto in the jugular.
Hillary is upset and leaves. Also, why does she get to be a fancy Persian? Do you get to choose which kind of cat you become?
I think it's based on personality.
Okay. Salem should have been an orange cat.
Probably.
Gwen comes back with a magic book while Sabrina and Salem argue. Just then, Barnaby wakes up. He splashes in panic and soaks all of them. Sabrina explains what happened, and Barnaby says the last thing he remembers is being chased by a boat but feeling very tired. Sabrina notices a fungus or bruise on his shoulder and tail. He has the same symptoms as the dolphins Dr. Martin is treating. Sabrina has to find a way to get Dr. Martin to treat him. Sabrina and Gwen pose as they explain they can change his tail. Salem finally blurts out that they're witches. Barnaby laughs and doesn't believe them.
What do you take me for, a sea slug?
Until Sabrina zaps everything dry. I love how the mermaid is like, witches couldn't exist.
They're a myth.
That's ridiculous.
No one believes in witches.
Sabrina and Gwen look through the magic book. They find a spell, but there doesn't seem to be a way to reverse it. Barnaby calls for them from the bathroom, where he's been eating soap.
I don't like the way your cat is looking at me, Salem says. Maybe broiled with a little garlic butter. No, smothered in cornbread batter and deep fried.
What kind of fish do you think a mermaid would taste like?
I don't eat fish, so I don't know.
I'm going to go with tuna. Tuna it is. There's a spell that will give him legs for 48 hours, but they won't be able to reverse it early. Sabrina is about to cast the spell, but first has Gwen give him a towel. And Gwen is very disappointed by this.
She's like, spoil sport.
Then Sabrina casts it, and Barnaby's tail turns into legs.
The spell is water and sand, land and air, give me a male with legs to spare. Salem's remark upon the transformation is, oh sure, the fish gets to be a man, but the cat? No.
Wasn't Salem just a human a few episodes ago? Didn't he again try to take over the world? I think there's a good reason he's not allowed to become human again.
That would require self-introspection.
There. Sabrina and Gwen take Barnaby out for a walk. He's a little unsteady. He also shoves garbage into his pockets. Salem climbs a tree with a koala. Barnaby disrupts a pool game by trying to listen to a pool ball.
Sabrina's excuse is surfer, one too many boogie boards to the head.
It's a reasonable excuse.
Yeah.
One of her better lies. Salem eats a sandwich while watching a kangaroo, which then eats his sandwich. Sabrina, Gwen, and Barnaby walk down the beach. The mermaid from before sees them and wonders what they did to Barnaby. Her dolphin friend swims up to them, and Barnaby recognizes Spout. Spout squeaks that Finn, Barnaby's sister, is there. Finn disapproves of his legs and swims away. Barnaby apologizes on behalf of his sister. Gwen then adds that her brother is currently a tree. Dr. Martin is looking at pictures of Barnaby that his staff brought to him. He doesn't know if he believes it's really a mermaid, but he's going to find it. Just then, Sabrina, Gwen, and Barnaby show up. Dr. Martin takes samples from Barnaby's shoulder. It's the same disease affecting marine mammals. Dr. Martin is worried that it's affecting humans, which would make sense if you're a human that spends a large amount of time in this polluted water that's affecting other mammals. It would make sense it would affect you too. That's not a stretch.
Thought progression.
Yeah. Dr. Martin gets an ointment, then Barnaby releases a rush of water out of his ear, but Sabrina zaps a leak in a fish tank to cover it up. Sabrina, Barnaby, and Gwen leave with the treatment. Dr. Martin examines the photos again and realizes the merman looks identical to Barnaby. Salem and Hillary are having drinks. He explains Sabrina, and she decided to believe him. Sabrina applies the ointment to Barnaby. Gwen is ready for windsurfing, and Barnaby wants to use his legs before they disappear. We get a legs montage that Kugel did not recognize the song for. There's jet skiing, Salem and Hillary getting massages, Barnaby and Sabrina shopping for souvenirs, Barnaby and Sabrina swimming, Gwen windsurfing, Barnaby and Sabrina eating at a buffet, and it is a COVID nightmare because Barnaby's just hands in that food. Parasite. Salem and Hillary sunbathe while being fanned. And then Sabrina and Barnaby watch the sunset.
If I had legs for only 48 hours and I were a water-based creature most of the time, I think I would choose to do land stuff instead of sea stuff, since I'm used to the sea and doing sea stuff, but that's just me.
Maybe you want to see the sea from a new perspective.
Sailor went to CCC to see that he could see CC.
It's talent show night at the resort. Jerome is going to sing. He comes out dressed like a mermaid and sings while playing a ukulele. People are now dancing, and Jerome won a trophy. He asks Gwen to dance, and Sabrina and Barnaby dance together. Barnaby looks uncomfortable, but slowly loosens up. Salem calls Hillary and asks her to dinner tomorrow. She says yes. Barnaby eats ice cream while he and Sabrina walk down the beach.
Barnaby says the ice cream is better than squid guts.
I would assume so.
Same.
Barnaby asks how humans show affection. Sabrina actually acknowledges she has a boyfriend. In this scene, Barnaby is disappointed. Spout suddenly swims up. Finn is sick. Barnaby tries to go to her, but he can't swim without his tail. Sabrina tells him the spell won't reverse for another 36 hours. Barnaby says Finn will never come here, so Sabrina offers to take the medicine to her. Sabrina wonders if she should tell Dr. Martin about Barnaby the next morning, but Gwen assures her she can't. Sabrina sneaks into the research center to steal the ointment and zaps the cabinet unlocked. Suddenly, Dr. Martin is behind her. That was creepy. That, closed the cabinet. Boom, right there.
Jump scare.
She says she found a dolphin that's sick. He doesn't believe her and wishes Sabrina would be honest with him. Because they just met 2 days ago. He grabs more ointment from his office and also sneaks a tracker into Sabrina's bag before handing it back to her. Gwen apologizes to Barnaby for sharing a room with Salem, but he loved it.
Barnaby says he especially loved the pay-per-view. And Salem was yes. Don't tell them that.
Sabrina joins them and Spout shows up. She grabs onto him and he takes off with her. Gwen wishes she had a dolphin to ride and decides to try zapping one in. Instead, she turns Salem into a fish and then he falls into the ocean. Did Gwen not see that she turned Salem into a fish, or did she just decide not to bother with it?
I'm pretty sure she decided just not to bother with it and scrub it from her memory, because later on when it's where's Salem, she's like, oh, I don't know.
And she's just like, well, there goes Salem. C'est la vie.
Well, her brother's been left as a tree, so.
And she turned what's his name into a pigeon. She searched for that pigeon. She kissed so many pigeons.
That's because she liked the pigeon. Gwen is boy motivated.
Sabrina and Spout swim to Finn. It's a whole colony of mermaids. Sabrina surfaces and they all swim away, but she yells that she's there to help. Dr. Martin watches Sabrina's tracker on a screen. Sabrina yells for Finn, who is laying on the beach. Finn doesn't want her help. Sabrina tells Finn she can be trusted and promises nothing bad will happen. Finn reluctantly allows Sabrina to treat her. Dr. Martin and his employees are looking at a map of the lagoon where Sabrina went, but no boat can fit there. Dr. Martin will find a way and asks for a tank to keep whatever he finds. Sabrina finishes applying the ointment to Finn and leaves the jar. Finn offers Sabrina something to eat and holds up a fish before biting the head off. Sabrina returns to the resort. Gwen and Barnaby were worried about her. Hillary joins and asks if they've seen Salem, but they claim they have not. She leaves and passes some fishermen that caught a catfish. It's Salem. Hillary arrives at dinner and Salem is late.
She says more than curiosity is going to kill that cat if he stands me up.
Sabrina says they need to find what's making everyone sick. Barnaby says they can't move the colony. Gwen again wonders if they need to involve Dr. Martin, who is also dining at apparently the only restaurant that's anywhere near this resort. Barnaby, Gwen, and Sabrina go to select a fish to eat from the tank. Dr. Martin's assistant joins him, and Dr. Martin says he's found a way into the lagoon. Hillary overhears their conversation, but doesn't care about it.
She says, men, I swear they think the world revolves around them.
True, Hillary. Sabrina feels weird about selecting a fish, but Barnaby has no such reservations and just grabs one. Gwen notices a catfish yelling. Sabrina turns it back into Salem. He goes to the table, but Hillary is gone. Salem tries calling Hillary and finally gets through after 3 hours. He apologizes for standing her up, but she hangs up on him. Eventually, sometime later, Salem thanks Hillary for forgiving him as they walk to the other side of the island to watch the sunrise. Salem takes photos as a large ship passes in the background. Sabrina wishes there was more they could do for Barnaby and the mermaids. She's decided to tell Dr. Martin. She opens her bag and finds the tracker. Gwen goes to find Barnaby, while Sabrina goes to the research center, but no one is there. Hillary and Salem look at their pictures when Sabrina comes up to ask if they've seen Dr. Martin. Hillary says that she overheard him talking about going to the lagoon. Sabrina also notices a picture that catches her interest and asks to keep it. Sabrina arrives at Dr. Martin's boat. She confronts him about going to the lagoon and tells him he can't go. Dr. Martin says he's going, and Sabrina gets a mischievous look as she thinks about how to stop him. The boat pulls away as Sabrina watches. Barnaby and Gwen join her, and Barnaby asks Sabrina to do something. Gwen wishes they could just conjure up a huge storm to prevent the boat from reaching the lagoon, and Sabrina thinks it's a great idea and that she's been wanting to try it out since she's got her license. So, continuity! Yay! Salem and Hillary eat breakfast/brunch together when Barnaby shows up to look for the boat. Sabrina goes into the water and casts a spell for a storm.
Waves to toss with violent motion, squall upon a tranquil ocean. Clouds and rain, thunder and lightning, give me a storm that's truly frightening.
Dr. Martin turns the boat around. Sabrina gets struck by lightning in the water. Barnaby tells Salem that Sabrina got hurt. Hillary tells him to go help, and Salem says he loves her. 3 days, Salem. Gwen manages to zap Sabrina into their room.
Since we had such fun CGI earlier, I really wish we had gotten like the classic see the skeleton outline as the lightning zaps Sabrina effect.
That would be a good addition, yes. Salem and Barnaby get into a truck, and Salem talks him through driving.
Turn the key, baitehead.
Gwen searches the magic book when Sabrina wakes up. Gwen says the electrical charge will interfere with Sabrina's magic for a couple of hours. Sabrina hopes the storm worked. Why didn't Sabrina just break something on the boat magically?
Because her frontal cortex hasn't fully developed yet. She forgot to read the don't stand in the water in the spell book.
I feel like you should always go for the magic that's like the least impactful. Like a storm is going to have wide-ranging consequences. As her Aunt Hilda has told her on multiple occasions. Because Hilda's the queen of the natural disaster magic. So I feel like maybe doing something small first would have been more prudent. Barnaby and Salem continue to drive in the out-of-control truck. Dr. Martin and crew dock the boat. Gwen brings Sabrina some tea when they notice the time. Barnaby is about to turn back. Barnaby gets the hang of driving just before his tail returns. He manages to barely avoid running down Dr. Martin. Dr. Martin opens the car door and Barnaby falls out, tail and all. Sabrina and Gwen rush to the docks to look for Barnaby, but no one is there. Salem runs up and tells them that Dr. Martin captured Barnaby and has him locked up in the resort swimming pool. Finn also swims up and accuses Sabrina of not keeping her word. Sabrina apologizes, but Finn doesn't buy it and leaves to save the rest of the mermaids. Barnaby swims in the pool, and we established in the bathtub that he needs salt water and also how will chlorine affect a mermaid.
Maybe it's one of those fancy saltwater pools, which are actually really fun to swim in.
It is a fancy resort, so sure. Also, who's paying for this for Sabrina?
Same place Salem's getting his money and they're illegal. Oh, Sabrina's posting the paw pictures for him and gets a cut.
But Salem knows how to use the internet. We've seen him on the computer multiple times.
Sabrina has blackmailed him into giving her money so she doesn't tell people about the paw picture business.
A crowd is watching Barnaby. Maybe? We don't know, because then later the crowd is not anywhere near the pool. I don't know. There's a crowd somewhere nearby. Barnaby drenches Dr. Martin's assistant with a tail flap. Another assistant tells Dr. Martin that the news is there. Dr. Martin is shocked. A reporter starts his segment about the merman. Dr. Martin confronts the hotel manager about contacting the press.
But, what did Dr. Martin expect to happen? He put a mermaid in a public pool.
Didn't we establish that he got a tank from the aquarium for this purpose?
Yeah, we sure did.
Okay. A tank that could have been properly salted. Also, what was he going to do with the mermaid?
It's a great question. Because they're trying to make him seem super evil, but also he's not evil. He just cares about the ocean. And so
would it have just been some electrodes to figure out heartbeat and stuff, or
go old school scientist dissection? Have to lose one to protect many or understand many mindset.
But that doesn't seem to be Dr. Martin's style based on what we've established of his character in the first 30 seconds of meeting him.
Yes. And then his character completely went downhill after he started tracking a teenage girl. So
Sabrina tells Salem to go find Barnaby and make sure he's okay. Jerome chats up Gwen while Sabrina confronts Dr. Martin and calls him a poacher. Sabrina grabs Gwen away from Jerome, but stops, and they both give him a calculating look, then drag him away. The reporter continues his segment, but Dr. Martin won't comment, although the pool has been shut down. Barnaby swims up to Salem and asks if Sabrina is going to get him out. Hillary also comes to see how she can help. Salem tells her to find Sabrina. Hillary shouts that she loves him too as she leaves. Sabrina grabs a room service cart and Hillary jumps on it to tell her about Salem's distraction. Dr. Martin pushes to the front of the barricade to again confront the manager, but the manager just allows everyone to the pool, where they find Jerome in his mermaid outfit singing. Dr. Martin knows Sabrina is behind this and tells everyone to wait there. Sabrina and Gwen roll Barnaby away on the cart as Dr. Martin and crew head to the dock. Chase scene! They fling Barnaby off the dock and he swims away. That was actually really funny. But Dr. Martin has his boat out laying down nets. They got that boat away from that dock and out into the bay very quickly. Sabrina stares in shock. Barnaby swims, trying to find a way past the net, but he is trapped and the crowd is coming. Spout shows up and Sabrina jumps in the water to ride Spout away. Gwen zaps herself and appears by the boat, hovering several feet in the air before dropping down. Finn rushes towards the colony and watches the boat laying nets behind her. Sabrina reaches the boat, as does Gwen. Barnaby becomes tangled in the nets. Finn arrives and tries to get him out. Sabrina and Gwen sneak aboard the boat and loosen the nets, allowing Barnaby to escape. Dr. Martin grabs her when the crew says they've got something. It's Finn! Barnaby yells at the boat to take him instead. Dr. Martin tries to capture him too. Spout shows up with a rare fish and Dr. Martin is entranced by it. He acknowledges that he's being a hypocrite, but he doesn't care. Sabrina grabs a knife and starts to cut the net, but Dr. Martin stops her. And like the part where he like grabs her arm and she's like looking at him, I was like, this is the part where it's like, it feels like there was an idea to have something romantically weird happening here.
Also, Sabrina's just holding the rare fish out in the air where it can't breathe for a very long time before they finally get a bucket. And it's like, you're losing your leverage real quick there.
That fish is super dead. Sabrina hits Dr. Martin with, "This reef doesn't belong to you, it belongs to them." And suddenly, Dr. Martin has to look inward. He walks away and Sabrina continues cutting the net because everybody else just watches her. Finn gets free and swims away. Dr. Martin claims he's just going to go after them again, but Sabrina doesn't think he will. That's a lot of faith. Sabrina and a man you've known for 3 days, and that quickly turned into supervillain. Sabrina knows he wouldn't let anyone hurt any creature living in the reef, even though he just hurt creatures living in the reef. He's not so sure, but starts to come around. Dr. Martin approaches the TV crews, and Sabrina steps in to say he found the rare fish. The TV crews are upset at the hotel manager for claiming there's a mermaid. Dr. Martin claims they now need to cut off access to this area of the island because of the endangered fish. Salem practices proposing to Hillary in the mirror. He goes to her room and finds bellhops taking luggage out of her room. Hillary stays in the room and warns that she hasn't been honest. She walks out, a human. She picks up Salem and cuddles him. Her sentence expired today. Salem is ecstatic and starts talking about living with her, but she's not into him.
He says, in 87 years, I'll be a man.
But Hillary's not in love with him. She was just caught up in the moment. This was a terrible end to this plot line. It was so bad. Also, it could have just been like, Salem, you know the Witches' Council's not going to allow a convict cat to live with a former convict cat. Like,
maybe in 87 years. Like, give him that little hope. Dangle the fish.
Yeah. Or like, I'm actually married to a human man, or like to a witch man or something. Like, there could have been something. Not, oh, I don't actually love you. I was just saying that because I was just in the moment. Like, it was just really bad ending. Well, Hillary leaves and Salem sobs. Gwen says goodbye to Jerome, then joins Sabrina for an announcement by Dr. Martin. They found the ship that was harming marine life. Mr. Saberhagen turned in the photo that showed the ship illegally dumping. Sabrina, Gwen, and Dr. Martin release the fish back into the water as Finn and Barnaby watch from a distance. Sabrina, Gwen, Barnaby, and Finn all swim together, holding hands. It's a cheesy ending.
Mm-hmm.
That is Sabrina Down Under. Where else would we have wanted Sabrina to go? We got Rome. We got Australia.
To space, apparently, because she might be an alien.
That actually would have been amazing. Sabrina goes to space. Last thoughts, Sky?
My new title for this would be Valerie the Teenage Fish.
I was going to say, I did like that she had red hair as a mermaid. Like, she has her red hair and Bring It On.
Yeah. When was this shot? Like, Was this shot after like she had officially left? Or I'm just curious how Lindsay felt to like have this role and then be like, you're gonna be a mermaid with no context, and then thanks for being part of this universe. Bye-bye now.
I'm wondering if this was part of the like ending of her relationship where it's like, we're not going to have you back, but we're going to have you do this movie instead. Because if it released in September of 99, they were probably filming it earlier that year. They probably did it after they'd finished filming all of season 3.
I'm glad I knew that Valerie was coming back. Or Lindsay was coming back in a different role. I think I would have been even more confused.
If you hadn't been warned to expect Lindsay to show up, or if you just thought Lindsay was done and that was it.
If I hadn't been warned, I would have even more questions. You made her a random mermaid with no context and not saying anything? And I mean, they still don't say anything.
No, absolutely not. It's the red hair. It changes her completely.
It could be just even funny of like oh, you look like someone I know.
Right?
Like, make it a joke. Doppelgangers.
Yes. Please like, share, rate, and subscribe to this podcast. Please, everybody, thank David for letting us borrow his DVD.
Yes. Thank you, David, our hero.
You can email us at somethingwitchypod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at somethingwitchypod. Until next time.
Stay magical.